Now let's take another example. Once again, I write an equal to sign. I select the number multiplied by, once again, 5%. But this time, I only freeze the row number. Now, my question is, will this work? Yes or no? Now, I do not want you to decide on the basis of the previous solution because previously we had a dollar sign for the column name and for the row number. I do not want that conversation to be the sole factor of you making a decision. So I want you to go step by step, think about it, that will this formula work? Not for the current cell, but for all the cells. Once you have an opinion, you can come back. I hope you have an opinion at the moment. So let's go step by step. Step number 1. Am I going to drag? The answer is yes. How am I going to drag? That is vertical. And according to the rule of the game, when you go vertical, what changes? The row number changes. Excellent. So let's understand. When I go vertical, G56 will land up into G57. Do I want that to happen? The answer is yes, and that will exactly happen. It will keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Perfect. Now, let us change our focus to H $55. Before I go ahead, my question is, this dollar sign is for who? Is it for the column name or is it for the row number? The answer is, it is for the row number, which means the row number is not going to change when I drag vertically up or down. Let us take an example. So when I drag this vertically down, G56 will land up into 57, 58, all the way down to 65. But H55 will remain constant. Why? Because when you move vertically down, what changes? The row number changes. Have I applied the dollar sign to the row number? The answer is yes. Now, does the column name change? The answer is no. The column name does not change because according to the rule of the game, when you drag vertically up or down, only the row number changes. Now, with this entire context, once again, I have the same question. Will this work? Yes or no? The answer is yes. Then your question would be that in the previous example, why did we go ahead and put a dollar sign to both the column name and to the row number? To get a better explanation, let's come back to the notes. Remember, the rules are very simple. The rule clearly mentions that the column name and the roll number are different. Now, the column name is different and the row number is different. And you have to treat them individually. You cannot treat them as a single entity initially. No, you have to treat them individually. So let us add a point over here. A dollar sign has to be triggered. I will mention it over here. A dollar sign has to be triggered. Just because a dollar sign is appearing, that doesn't mean a dollar is triggered. No, a dollar has to be explicitly triggered. How does a dollar sign get triggered? Which means if we go back to the first example, even though the column name has a dollar, but the dollar is not getting triggered. Why? Because we are dragging this particular cell vertically down. And what is going to get triggered? The dollar sign for the row number is going to get triggered. That means even you have a dollar sign or you don't have a dollar sign, it's not going to make any difference over here. Because when will this dollar get triggered? Only when we drag horizontally. Let's take another example. In this case, now as once again I'm dragging back. Let's say if I drag this specific cell, if I drag it horizontally, my question is, will H move into I, yes or no? So when you drag a cell horizontally, according to the rule of the game, the column name changes. So H will directly go into I. If I further drag it, I will move into J. That's according to the rule. But unfortunately, G will now move into H and H will move into I. Let's take an example. Once again, I drag it to the right hand side. Now, never judge that the answer is correct. Double click and look at this. It should have been this particular cell, which is G56, should have been multiplied with the cell I55. But what is happening is that G is now moved into H. But one thing which is correct, that H has moved into I. That is perfect. So what could be the solution? Pause the video, think about it, once again come back. I hope you have an opinion in this case. You need to apply the dollar sign just for the column name. And remember, this dollar sign will get triggered when? Only when you drag this particular cell horizontally. Vertically is not going to make any difference because vertical, what's going to change? The row number is going to change. Have you given any dollar sign for the row number? The answer is no. In that case, there you go. Look at the formula. Once again, I will double click to check if my formula is working. There you go. $G, but it has reached to 65. And when I select these cells and I drag it horizontally, there you go. From 5%, you have moved to 10, and from 10, you have moved to 15, which means from H55, we have probably moved into I, and from I, we have moved into J. This is basically called mixed reference. So just to give you a quick recap, we have three different kind of references. We have relative reference. So relative reference where there is no dollar sign. Example H9. That's a relative reference. $H and $9, this is absolute reference where you have a dollar sign for the column name and for the row number. And then you have mixed reference where you have a dollar sign only for the column name or only for the row number. Okay. So the last example which we saw was with respect to mixed reference. I hope you found this lesson valuable. Thank you.